Okay, what about now? Guys, what about now? What? Oh, okay, I guess so I can hear it by myself that there is something ongoing, so I will mute it, that you don't have the double sound. So now it should work. Yes. So the reason was, I don't know why, but there is like, there's been an update for my cam, for the video camera, and it went somehow that the sound wasn't working. So the firmware update fixed it now. So I don't know, but yeah, it's working now. It's cool. I'm happy. You happy? So I'm not sure. So you haven't heard anything yet, right? So I was starting to do this, to make a drawing of this, but from a little bit different perspective. Like you see it here, because my face is more on this side, like on top. I look a little bit like this to the, yeah, on the face. And so what I figured out the last days is that it helps me quite a lot to make these drawings more more right or more properly. If I close an eye while I try to make this light guidelines, while I try to catch the right position of the face. So, and it feels kinda unnatural, but at the end it helps me. So I don't know, every trick is like reasonable, I guess, if it's somehow helpful. Sorry for the request, but do you still hear anything? I hope it for you, because I start now to, because I also don't see any watchers currently, so you are listening. Not administrator, perfect. I'm listening. Okay, perfect. Nice. So yeah, it means I just talked with myself by doing this guideline sketch before. But okay, maybe I can summarize it somehow back again. So as I already told, so it is helpful for me to close an eye, and then I have the situation that I see the sculpture in front of me, but only from one viewpoint somehow. So because so I'm really struggling with drawing this Asaro head. So I've never did it before, to draw something from the real life. Maybe I was like, I guess I was like too much afraid about it, because it's quite hard actually to do it. And but since I have to make this this challenge, and I want to do this challenge, and I want to finish it also. There is no other way to learn to the faces also in this way. So once again, so I close one eye, and it helps me just to focus on the let's say only needed areas of the face. So it turns for me that then it's easier for me to distinguish the like the distances between, for example, if I am drawing the nose, I've done it, and then I want to make this cheekbone here. And if one eye is closed, then it is somehow easier for me to say, okay, the position of this point is like more higher than this point. And then it's easier somehow to say, okay, make this line here, make this line here. Because all other faces, if I do it without closing my eye, it's always turning somehow to something like really ugly. So even if this painting is maybe good, or this sketch, it's for me so disturbing to see it because it's so ugly, because the proportions and all the stuff related to it is somehow just messed up. What is squinting? You mean if you like close your eyes like really, if you make it really tight, right? Ah, that's interesting. So not administrator. So this is interesting. That is why a lot of people like make measurements like that, right? And they close an eye and then they put it to the paper. And yeah, I saw that sometimes already, of course, like seeing people doing it, but I've never thought about that, why they do it like that. So it took like a while. I saw it maybe 10 years ago. Yeah, old art trick. Thank you. Where have you been the last 10 years? But it's very tiresome. Yeah, it's very tiresome. Most art teachers would tell you to judge by eye. You mean like only by one eye, right? Or do you mean something different? So, but the good point is, so after figuring it out and being able to focus on the stuff and being more or less able to put the, let's say, the right proportions on paper, then it is way easier to make the rest of the detail work. Then it is just about to line up all the stuff that you've created, and one day I maybe will learn how to set the right line weight to my drawings. So now I can focus on the shading of the stuff. Shade on the upper lip, shade on the lower part of the lower lip, shade here. What else could be light or shadow? So I will put some shadow to these areas. So the stuff what I'm doing now is a little bit stupid because I started with making some parts dark, which are not really dark in my light situation currently, and this is why I am like starting to think about what is the dark area, what's not the dark area. But I try to fix it, or I try to just to continue with what I started, and I will just put like the shadows to the parts which are not getting any light. So not administrator, I see you have created some comments. I will read them as soon as I finish this hatching out the most important areas. Second, please. Okay. Looks good so far. Develop great sense of space. Yeah, I heard that already. So not administrator, for the people who don't see the chat. The last thing was said is that it's not always good to make these careful constructions, like to make these careful construction lines. It's sometimes better just to watch on something and to just to do it. Like I understand more or less by feeling, like to trust yourself, what you see and what you draw. Yeah, sometimes I do it as well, but like not always. So far I was always, when I'm doing it, or if I have done this, I had the feeling I have to to fix too much to make it be looking nice somehow. So, and I hope somehow for the situation that if my practice, like, or if I have done like enough practice, that this method would be a valid method for me. But currently it's maybe not the best method for me. So, because this is a little bit what I tried to do with all these faces. So, and as you see, so this was the first one. I took this as a reference, and this was more or less the method of yeah, just see and try to feel it and do it somehow, and actually all of them. So, but this method with closing eyes maybe combined with the method of draw how you feel. I will try it, of course. So thank you for this advice, Nut Administrator. And I see we have another guy, another two guys. Thanks for this session, Sir von Sketchfields. Yeah, you're welcome. Aquil Titan or Aquil Titan. And Alexander Binder is also here. So when you're doing digital sketching, which Wacom do you use? And do you recommend it? So Gelios 13 high as well. So I can show you what I like, what I do if I or what I use if I use or if I do the digital sketching. So this is the Magic. This is the UG pencil, and you got two of them if you buy it. So the device what I use is, you will see it now. Yeah, I will lose this here and try to show you it in here. So this is the device I use for digital sketching. So I will apply it back again to my sketchbook canvas. And so this is the version, this is the 21-inch version, and you can buy it. So I bought it in a, where you're from Russia, Sochi. I'm from Russia as well, so actually from Belarus, from Belarus. Belarus. This is not what I wanted to say. I wanted to say the White Russia, because some people say it like that. So from Bobruisk area. So I've been born in Bobruisk. And yeah, I can speak also a little bit Russian still, but I want to practice more to speak English. That's why I'm doing it here as well. Like to do two types of things, to learn English and to learn drawing. So we have another line in here. So to Alexander Binder, he is asking what I'm, so if I use this UG device, 2150 is the right name, I guess. If I use it for digital drawing, if I had any problems with it, and actually not. So not so far. The only stuff what I'm missing is that, so in Photoshop, if you draw in Photoshop, you have the possibility, like, let me explain it on a sheet of paper, like here. If you have your pen, and this is the tip, and you have a brush which is shaped like this, and you would like rotate your pen, like you have a certain angle, and then you can like move it like that, right? The shape of this brush would go also like depending on the angle of your pen. So this would be the pen, and this is the brush. And so this is, I guess, called somehow something with tilt. And so this device, this UG device, does not support any tilting stuff, but it has a lot of pressure sensitivity, and I like it like much more than the 21-inch Wacom, which I had before for 2 years, and from the first day I was like really unhappy with it, because it has like a lot of issues produced by the screen. Like they've been like jiggling lines on some certain areas, and this was somehow really disturbing. So to fill up this page, maybe I will add like a date from today to here, 7007, and year 18. Okay, so I'll try another view of this guy here, follow. And so for you to see it quickly, I will draw it. It is like this in front of me, and I'll try to draw it maybe it's too less spectacular. I guess I will do it somehow from this perspective, more from the like a frog would see it. So not administrator. To be honest, I haven't tried it yet to draw portraits after so you mean, I understand your question. You mean since I am doing this Asaro heads, right? Interrupt me if I'm wrong. But as you can see in my 1001 study challenge, face study challenge, I haven't tried any portraits yet. I guess I will try it in the next days or in the next weeks, definitely. But I want to be like more confident doing it. So like I want to be more confident drawing this Asaro head. I hope it will help me to improve the situations of the shapes, shading of the faces. So, because it's currently like the most annoying situation about these faces somehow. Because of course I would like to make more shadow stuff, but It always depends. If this line is like a little bit off, then the full situation about the face is changing. So I don't know. I hope this will help me. And if not, it's practice. So I need some underlays somehow to have the more dramatic view on it. Yeah, I have it now. Maybe rotate it a little bit like this. Yeah. That's the only thing. Yeah, that's right. Which is the Asaro head is. It's just only about the planes of the head. Yeah, I will do. I will definitely do. So if I will start to draw back again like digitally, I will do some studies. Because why I started to make it like to make this challenge, because you can see I've been quite bad in creating faces, in drawing faces. It was always more or less about like, okay, the proportion of a head is like this, the eyes is in between, in the middle, and then we need a nose and a mouth. And all of it was somehow done with strokes. And as soon as you start to, so my situation was, as soon as I was started to draw it like bigger, or if I want to make it digitally and like in a big size, then I have to put all the details inside, right? So and this was like the most struggling part of my situation, that the faces, I just needed too much time to make these faces. Because the body work is somehow okay, you can enlarge maybe the legs, you can do some like quick tricks to let it look nice. So, but the face stuff, it's so difficult. It's like magic to me, and that's why I started like to make only faces, and I wanted to do it without any digital tricks, because you can always erase it. So my workflow in digital approach was always to, you make a line, if you don't like it, you can erase it. You make another line, if you don't like it, you can erase it. And my work approach was like trial and error, more or less always. So now, like I promised, I will try to make a more spectacular view of the Asaro head. I will close an eye again and try to catch the right shapes, let's say, or the right position of it. So By the way, guys, thank you so much that you're watching. So it helps a lot for me to practice the English language, because it's much more easier to speak if you have some questions. So if you can focus on something which are like really interesting for people, because you wouldn't ask if you wouldn't have their interest, right? I hope. So this is going to be my mouth, and this will end here. And the ear is right here. Okay, I have to enlarge this shape a little bit. And this would be somehow the perspection lines. Yeah. So back to the mouth. This is the lower lip part. And this is the chin part. Chin chin. And I guess I will be again somehow drunken if I will open up my left eye. So this would be the guideline or the construction line. So we have the nose here, and this cheekbone line is going this way, straight up to the nose tip here, to the side nose tip. And we have quite a lot of space in here till the eye is beginning, but it's going also to this direction. So, oh dear, this method, this is just amazing. This method is so amazing, guys. I'm not really sure if you can feel it, like my situation right now, because I start to get the feeling that I am making a huge steps to be able to sketch like in a proper way. So I start to like what I do. And this is somehow all about. So I have some additional comments in the chat. So not administrator sent me a link about some people pen or ink artists. Okay, I will check it. Oh yeah, the picture looks fine. This looks nice actually. Is there any possibility to remove the camera like quickly? So I will try it. Okay, is it removable? No, it's not removable. Oh, that's sad. Because not administrator, he sent me a link with this picture here. And you cannot see it. That's sad. Okay. Nevertheless, or whatever, anyway. First of all, thank you for that. This picture looks good, and it is indeed. It looks like it would be done only with some ink pen, maybe, like without any construction stuff, but it looks good. It's a city, so it's like a easy and cool drawing of a city, of a big city, maybe New York. You can see a little bit of a street in front and some old building, like in the mid ground, and in the background you see the skyline. Yeah, hatching takes a lot of time indeed. That's true. That's why it is mostly more easy to make just the outline. But I've heard some guys, like on YouTube, there are some artists which were really good. They have, or they make, mostly they advise to work with the shapes. Like if you want to figure out the light situation of something, then you need to shade out some areas, and mostly they say it's good to just to distinguish between three values, like you would have white, black, and some middle gray in between. But not administrator. So in my case, to make these hedging lines, it's a little bit like practicing. So I just see it as a practice, like a practice exercise. So making hedges, it means that on my roadmap of lines, I can say one day I have done 1,000,000 of them or something like that. I don't know what exactly count would be. And I guess it is also kind of improvement. So doing like line by line, you will improve yourself to be faster and better. Not at the same time, but it will increase, I guess. So I see I have also some watchers on YouTube. Let's check the chat quickly. So Gilios, you like that I'm from Bobruisk? If you're still watching, thank you. Thank you for that. So, aktuell Zuschauer. Okay. So guys from YouTube who is watching currently, maybe. So I have also a channel on Twitch, and so it seems like, from my experience, what I've done the last weeks, the stream is running like better on Twitch. There are more or less no delays, or it produces less like hanging situations of the stream. So if you want, you can join also on Twitch and see it on Twitch. So back to the drawing, back to the sketch. I guess I will emphasize now the outline work. And for this I would need actually a bigger pen, a pen which is more fat, like the 1.2. And what is the light situation in here? This somehow, so it starts to get dark from this point, or let's say darker, but this area as well. And this one is more darker, and it is like really dark on this side. But this triangle in here, it is somehow bright still. Okay. So then I can add, because the values in here are more or less similar. I messed up this line because it should go like this. Because this is more or less on the same line. Yeah, and then we would get a darker part here as well, and a little bit more dark here. So now I want to emphasize every face, what I see, like every shape which is here. I will just outline it. This is also currently not really for the look of the picture, it's more about practice for myself to be able to outline stuff what I wanted to outline. If I needed it. A little bit more drama to here, and a little bit more drama to here as well. What time we have? Okay, 9:30. Yeah, I would say it's quite okay. So if this picture was the number 545, then this one would be 546. Oh guys, I'm so happy this page here looks or makes me feel more nice than this one. Okay, let's find another perspective of it. What do you think? More from the upper side? Like somehow like this? Yeah, I try like to draw that what I see. Currently, it's so I started to stream like in the evening, and so in Germany it's evening right now, and I started to stream because my situation at work changed a little bit. And I have to be now like more earlier at work, and so currently I have a lot of light sources in my room, and this makes it somehow tricky to get the light the right, like, so for you that you can see it here, I need to turn all the lights what I have in my room. but it makes quite tricky the situation with the head. So the shadows are like coming from different angles, from all the perspectives. Okay, I will do it, I guess, like this, and I will. So it is lying. So I see it a little bit like this right now, and I will just draw it. So, but now the challenge would be to do it with the left eye. So I will close the right eye, and I will try to do it properly by using my left eye. So, okay. Rotate it a little bit, that this is more a lying face then, that this is then more rotated. So I should make it a little bit smaller. Then my center line would go a little bit up. So this would be my brow line then. Somehow my nose line starting here, and all of them have a perspective which is going like this. By the way, I guess I have to thank not administrator, correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been the guy which provided me the information about that it is also valid to make perspective in drawing heads. Since then I started at least to think about it, to put them in place. So the nose here, and we have a step here, connect them in between, go a little bit up. So then we have the brow line. It would be going down like this, and we can connect it more or less with the nose. This is going straight to the top of the ear, I would say. So we can separate this into parts, and this is the lower lip. here, and the situation, and then we would have to place the eye properly as well. Okay, so it's really, I guess the word is fuzzy what I'm searching for, because it's so detailed to work here on the eye. It's like still the most difficult part for me to work on the eye. And I have to enlarge the area of the because it's not in the middle. I missed the proportion by doing I wanted to rescale my so the first lines what I've done, I wanted to rescale them somehow, so I wanted to make the face a little bit, or the head a little bit smaller, but it came to the situation that my proportion went wrong. So we have a line going down this way, and then we have the connection between here. Okay, looks better now. So what I will have to do in the future, so I don't know if you see it, but this face, so this reference face, what I use here, I only have the front part of it, so I will need to use the 3D printer at work again to make the back of it, and this will help hopefully to make like the right yeah, the proper situation about this area here, because currently I'm not really confident in doing it. Yeah, that's right. This is definitely the goal, like to be able in future to to do it like really from the memory, or at least to be trained to see it something, and then to like to deconstruct the figure what you see, or the sculpture what you see, or the face into shapes or into like different forms. And then to do it more or less from the memory. That's right. So, not administrator, your knowledge of like the theoretical knowledge is like really huge. So I did some some lines too much in the eye, and this is messing up. Oh, that's interesting. So I put shadow to these shapes, to these shapes, and emphasize these areas. There is a light, but the nose here is getting some shadow as well. This one. Of course, the back part of the head, yeah, completely. to this point. So this shape is bended somehow here, so this shape is bended, and that's why it gets a little bit more light in these areas, more shadow in these areas. Then we have the shapes here, which are also not touched by light. We have a connection line here. This is getting a little bit shadow, and this shape as well. And these shapes here. Okay, if I rotate the paper, I see like a lot of mistakes. Which I would do a little bit different, I guess, if I would draw it from a perspective which I already know. Now I'll try to focus on the area which is covered, which is covered a little bit more by light. I'll emphasize them. Okay, and so now I will finish it. Like I will finish the stream right now. Okay, not administrator. So your last question is, oh no, you have like wrote a lot. The Andrew Loomis. I heard about the Loomis already, but I don't know why I didn't get the point about the Loomis stuff somehow. But thank you for this, for the information. I will just Google it right now, what this is about. Like the Andrew Loomis. Ah, now I see. Okay, I guess some guy on YouTube had told something about this Andrew Loomis guy. Because yeah, you are right. It is about time, like always, and I'm not really sure if it. So how to distinguish between how much effort do I put to reading books and how much effort I put just to practice the drawing itself. So yeah, that's quite difficult for me currently to decide. But it is good. So this Loomis stuff, his book, the creative illustration is. I trust you. I believe you that this is a good book, and I will put it as well to my wish list on to my next ordering if I would like to buy a book. Because I see some interesting pictures already here, if only just by googling it. Bookmark. Yes. So as I said before, in the early stages, reading will help you improve very fast. So you mean like the first pages of this book are that fundamental with a lot of informations that you think I will learn a lot? Is it right? I have to add some number to this painting, to the sketch. 5, 4, 7. Yeah, okay. Of course, feel free. So the next time, what is the next time? Actually, I'd like to stream tomorrow, but there could be some, yeah, how can I say, some disturbing situation that I have to work on something different. And so I'm not sure if I will stream tomorrow, but I really, really would like to. But of course, give me some book names for the next time. Would be great, because it's always cool to see stuff from other people, especially in the so in the time what we have right now, the all these Instagram pages and pages on Patreon or Pinterest. It's like just overcrowded with the current stuff, and it's so seldom that you see some real classical stuff. It's not like common for us, for our eyes. Yeah, okay. So in this case, I will finish this stream today for today, and see you next time. Hopefully tomorrow. Bye, guys.